Last lesson we looked at how to get a smooth sine wave on each of our LEDs at different points so that it mixed the colour and gave us a really nice change in colour to cover the RGB colour spectrum. And that's a nice lesson. Being able to do that gives you that really gradual colour. Looking at that PicoMood at night time will just really light up your room in nice and brilliant colours. But if you want to make it a little bit more flash and amazing, well, lesson 10 will do that for you, the final summit. Traverse from one lighting effect to the next until you reach the end. A white night special. So we're going to look at what that is. Well, basically, this is just one effect, and we've looked at quite a few different effects that we've done, and one of those in particular would have been 2 lessons ago, Mix It Up, lesson 7, where we had it flickering from one LED to the next using a sine wave built in there as well. So you might want to add those 2 different lighting effects next to each other so that one goes for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, the next one goes for 10 seconds, and so on. And one other particular effect that I want to show you is how to make white light appear from red, green and blue LEDs. Well, it's quite easy. Red, green and blue added together as light becomes white. So if you turn on all 3 LEDs at the same time, they won't overlap perfectly the same, but you'll get a white looking light with a little few colours around the edges. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to use up most of our memory on our microchip, but it'll be well worth it in the end. So the first thing we'll do, we'll open up lesson 8, which uses the Mix It Up pattern but using our sine wave. We'll just open, click no, we don't need to save that document again, saving private sine, and we're going to copy and paste. We don't need the subroutine, we've got that in lesson 9, so we'll Control C, and we won't paste it just yet, but now we'll go and open and we'll say no to saving it. We'll go to lesson 9, Colour Smoothly, and what you can do if you've got a middle mouse button on your wheel, you can actually pan around that page a little bit, and we're going to paste, click and drag, make sure you drag it while it's still selected so it doesn't deselect, and there we have it. So we've got the 2 of those side by side, 2 different effects. Let's go into this title, we'll fix that up as well. So lesson 10, Final Summit. And we'll give it ourselves a bit more space by moving some of these tools around. We'll put our subroutine down the bottom, pan over to our Mix It Up, and we'll pan back again using the middle mouse wheel. We might move that down the bottom over here. Okay, we could use up a bit more space, couldn't we? Moving this one, moving these ones. Maybe we can align those and group them. It's probably a good idea. Group each one of these using the group button, just so we don't mix up those now that they're in a nice order. We'll group that one. We could move this one across and put it up a bit higher. And we'll move this one up a bit higher. Now we need to work out how to get from one to the next, and we can do that by linking them up with another cycle tool. So if we place a cycle tool somewhere at the end, I suggest, so if we go through each of those motors, go and pick up a sine tool, we'll test it and then see if we can move on to the next effect. So essentially, we'll have a false that goes back up the top. So we go to the false connector, we choose top, and we'll choose true. We'll put it on the bottom, or we might put it on the left actually for this one, and we'll make it say 500 cycles. 500. We'll annotate that 500. Okay, so for 500 times, we're going to come into our cycle tool. We might put false on the right, actually. False on the right. 500 times, we'll go back to the motors, so that will work as normal. And once it gets to 500 of those lookup tables, so about 2 actual cycles of the lookup table, because there's 240 in each. Once it's done that, then we'll move it on to our second effect. So using that cycle tool, let's program it, and we'll just see that it does what we're intending. So programming, so it's still doing our sine wave nicely to get our color modulation and smoothly color. Okay, now it's doing the flickering pattern. So it's got into the flickering pattern. We need to well, we can see it gets stuck there in the flickering pattern because it's got no way to get back to the first effect. So we might do something similar. We'll copy and paste our cycle tool down the bottom here, and we'll put it beside the motor tool, and we'll go into that motor tool, and we'll move this one across to our cycle tool, and then we'll create something down the bottom here. Let's do, well, for the moment we can just take that true and we can put it back up the top. We might move this one across a bit, and we should see, if we program that, it should do 2 cycles of our smooth sine wave, color smoothly effect, and then once it's done that, it should do our mix it up effect. That should do about 2 cycles of mix it up before it goes back to color smoothly. There it goes. Okay, so that's how to get 2 of the effects in there. And the last one we want to do is a new one, and we're going to call it the White Knight. And basically we're just going to flicker all 3 LEDs on and off at the exact same time, multiple times. So let's make this all on, and we'll turn G5, G4, G2 high, all on. And similarly, we'll have one called all off. So all off, and we'll make them all low again. And we'll put a small delay in between. We might make that quite small, 0.0 or 0.05 of a second, even faster, 0.02. I like a nice fast flicker, 0.02. If you wanted to know, that's also milliseconds. That's 20 milliseconds is our pause in there. So you could just put in the number 20 and choose milliseconds. So I'll still label it as 0.02 seconds. And we'll copy and paste that because we need 1 delay for each of our states. So true is going to come down to this one, and we'll actually have 1 more of these cycle tools because we're going to copy that in maybe 100 times. Put it down here. Yep, actually we'll join this one down on top of that for the moment. Put this false in here. Put this one into our cycle tool, and this true connector back up the top, like so. We'll make that 100 cycles instead of 500. That'll give us 100 flickers of lights, 20 milliseconds times 100, So it'll go for about 2 seconds. So let's align those, distribute, we could group, on distribute group, and that will be our white knight. So if you want to annotate, we can create some notes. So this is the white knight effect. Just here, white knight effect, and we might do one up here. So just a right click in any white space. So this is a mix it up effect. And this one here is the color smoothly effect. We can resize those and do what we want. Well, actually, we'll put them up here at the start. This will show us where each of these starts. White knight effect. And you might as well move that subroutine over into that space over there and label it subroutine lookup or subroutine sine wave lookup. That's what it is. Lookup. Maybe we should annotate that. Lookup table sine wave. There we go. So that's given us a little bit of indication as to what each of these is doing, and that's pretty much our program. So we'll hit program and we'll see what that does. So we've got a color smoothly happening, and we've got that mix it up. It's flickering between some of those LEDs, and that there is doing the white knight, and it's going so fast you can't even see how flickering that is. So we'll just wait for that to go again. I need a higher speed camera on my computer, but I'll see if I can get you. That's doing the white knight right there. So just so you can see it a little bit, I'll slow it down to 50 milliseconds. It's going to go for about 5 seconds duration though, and probably won't look as nice in real life, but at least you should see it flickering on and off with the white knight special effect. There we go. It doesn't look like much still there, but it goes a little bit longer for 5 seconds. So that's lesson 10. Final summit. Make sure you save your work to a PDF. Save it to your hard drive as well, and show it to your teacher to get it assessed. Of course, you can create any effects you want. Now that you've learnt how to do this, put your mind to it and see what you come up with. I would love to see a video of all of the different special effect lightings that you're creating. And just to show you on the assembly code, you can see that we've used up almost all of our memory. Oh, up to 472. So, there's a good 40 lines of code there you could use. So, that's lesson 10, the final summit. Thanks for watching.